Good morning children. In this session we are going to study about how France became a constitutional monarchy. As we know that in the previous class we have studied about revolution or the outbreak of revolution in France taking place, and later on France became a constitutional monarchy. So the National Assembly, we know that we have studied the Estates General was renamed as the National Assembly. They were the members of elected representatives from the people. So National Assembly completed the draft of Constitution in 1791. They began to draft the Constitution for France. It was completed in the year 1791. So the main objective was drafting of this Constitution was the limiting the power of the monarch. We know the monarch had absolute powers in France, but to limit the power of the monarch, that was the main objective of drafting a constitution. So these powers, instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person, that means absolute power was vested in one person or monarch. But now this, as per the constitution, it was separated. So these powers within one person was separated and assigned to different institutions like legislature, executive and judiciary. We know that what are the differences, we have studied earlier classes also. Legislature, that is the body of elected representatives, they make law for the nation. Executive, their responsibility is to implement properly the whatever the law is enacted, and judiciary, that is the watchdog of the citizens, taking care, observing the whatever is happening in the country. So these were the three institutions had divided the power of which was vested in one person, like the decentralization of power is taken place by the constitutional amendment. So this made France a constitutional monarchy. Monarchy was not abolished, but monarch had a control. The monarch was controlled by the constitution. So here we can find the constitution of 1791 vested the power to make laws in the National Assembly, which was indirectly elected, not directly elected. National Assembly had the right to make laws for the country. So whatever the laws are made or enacted, that is done by the National Assembly. So this is that the citizens voted a group of electors. What is National Assembly? Here they had to choose the assembly. Now not all the citizens in like our country, we know all Indians who have those who have completed the 18 years have the right to vote, which we often say adult franchise. But in France, all the people were not had the right to vote. They were only the active citizens had the right to vote. Who were the active citizens? We know that the all citizens who had not all citizens had the right to vote. Only men above 25 years of age. Okay. Also, those who paid taxes to the government, men above 25 years of age who paid taxes equal to at least 3 days of laborer's wage. Okay, so who were considered as actual citizens, only actual citizens or the active citizens had the right to vote. Active citizens are those who completed 25 years and also they were able to pay minimum 3 days laborer's wage as tax. So they were considered as actual citizens. Okay, so active citizens or the actual citizens, they had the right to vote. They only had the right to vote. So the remaining men and all women were classed as the passive citizens, active and passive citizens. To qualify an elector, then the member of the assembly, a man, had to belong to the higher bracket of taxpayers. Those who were able to pay the taxes in the highest level only had the right to vote. That was the condition in France. So the constitution began with a declaration of the rights of men and citizens. We know that there is a preamble or the foreword, the declaration of rights of men and citizens. So that is what the front or the foreword or the preamble of the constitution in France is made. So rights as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law. These were established as natural and inalienable rights. That means nobody can take away. Okay, so which is also passed from one person to the other. That means from generation to generation. So these are rights we are getting from one generation to other. So that is that they belong to each human beings by birth and could not be taken away. Our rights are given by birth. We are given these rights, these fundamental rights: right to freedom, right to life, right to speech, or right to freedom of opinion, equality before law. These are the all these rights by birth we are privileged or we are given. So it was the only duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural rights. These are all natural rights, but government or the state has to take care or protect the people's or the citizens' rights here. During that period, we know that majority of men and women who were in the 18th century especially, they were not able to read and write. So for these people or illiterate people or uneducated people, and some images and symbols were frequently used instead of printed words and communicate important ideas. To communicate with the people, there is no leaflet or no much books were written because people are mostly illiterate. So some sort of symbols were often shown so that people can identify by seeing the symbol. They can recognize the ideas by the symbols. So the painting by Lee Barber, who was using many such kind of symbols to convey the content of the Declaration of Rights. How the Declaration of Rights, which was written but people cannot read, so that some symbols were also given, so that we will discuss about what are the symbols. First one is the broken chain. Broken chain, it symbolizes that a chain is broken, which were used to let fetter slaves. We know that a broken chain stands for the act of becoming free. When the slaves were tied with the chains, now the chain is broken, that means the slaves are free, slavery is abolished, no person is a slave then. Then a bundle of rods of fasces, that means one rod, bundle of sticks like our fasces, we know that it is tied together. It shows that not an entire bundle, strength lies in unity. That means when it is single, we can easily break it. If all are united and tied together, and strength lies in unity, nobody can break the unity there. So the another picture we can find the eye within a triangle, radiating light from all around. All we can find the like the sunlight markings are given there. So all seeing, the eyes can see everything. It is like a camera, we can see when we keep open our eyes, we can see everything. So no secrets will be taking place there. So the eyes are seeing everything, and which gives us knowledge. We come to know by seeing many things, we come to know, and eyes shows the symbol of knowledge. The rays of the sun all around will drive away the clouds of ignorance, or all the rays of sunlight gives us hope that all the ignorance will be thrown away. Okay, so then scepter, the symbol of royal power, it's like a stick. We know that those the kings are holding, it is scepter. This is the symbol of royal power, who is the king or monarch or whatever. Then snake biting its tail, forming a ring, like a ring. It's one end, it is like a snake, the shape of a snake. It is biting the tail. Snake is biting the tail. That means the symbol of eternity, forever. The ring has no beginning or end. We know that if there is a ring, it has no end point. Okay, that means it shows that eternity, that means something which remains forever, no end. Then a red Fijian cap, there is also such cap worn by the slave becoming free. The slaves who are becoming free, they used to wear a red Fijian cap. Okay, so then blue, white, red, these are the three colors of France, national colors of France. Then another one is a winged woman, which is personification of the law. That means this is the example of law. Law is enacted, the new law is enacted in France. Another symbol, the law tablet, okay, which is the law is the in the same for all people are before equal before law. So the law tablet is shown. That means all people in France are equal before the law. There is no such kind of discrimination between the people. That's all for today. Tomorrow we will study about how France abolishes monarchy and become a republic.